And what an amazing show we just witnessed when Peshawar Zalmi outplayed Islamabad United to secure a place in the final of PSL on Sunday. Chasing 215 was never going to be easy for Islamabad United against the all-pace attack of Peshawar Zalmi. To talk about this and much more, I have with me Mr. Ali Mehdi. Ali, thank you so much for being on the show.
My pleasure.
Are we going to say that the best team won?
Yeah, I mean, hands down, you have to say that on the day Peshawar Zalmi were the better team. They made the they played the better cricket, they batted very well, they bowled well, they fielded very well, and they made the most of the conditions, you see. I thought Islamabad United had a golden opportunity. They made a lot of mistakes, and at the end of the day, it was Peshawar Zalmi which capitalized.
Absolutely, and it looked like that. Peshawar Zalmi did play it like champions. I mean, their approach was so energetic. They were all over the field when they came for fielding.
Look, it comes down to who's hungry on the day, who wants it more. And Peshawar Zalmi, you could tell, really wanted it today. They played with that extra fire in the belly. They had extra motivation. They had a lot of momentum. I mean, they lost the first qualifier, but they really wanted it badly. They know that after losing it last year, how much badly they wanted to make it to the final. They're a true team full of champions, and they're led by an inspirational leader in the form of Darren Sammy. Hence, they deserve to be in the final, and they are completely outplayed Islamabad.
Absolutely, and you got to give it to Darren Sammy. I mean, sticking to that all-pace attack on such wickets, on such grounds, we need to give him credit for that.
I must say it was quite a risky move because, on these sort of grounds and these sort of pitches, if you're going to play with an all-out pace attack, then it does tend to backfire. You do tend to get hit out of the park for quite a bit, but he trusted all his bowlers. He trusted the likes of Hassan Ali, Wahab Riaz, Chris Jordan himself, and I think it worked magnificently for them because, I mean, leaving out Liam Dawson, bringing on Chris Jordan, he believed that this pace battery would do the trick for them. And unlike Islamabad, trusted with these 5 fast bowlers, and they delivered, great dividends for them.
Absolutely, and you got to give it to him that all the bowlers are the champion bowlers of their own team. I mean, if you look at Wahab Riaz, if you look at Hassan Ali, Chris Jordan, and Tam Mills, they're all champions of their own team. So it's a good confidence for the captain.
No, it's an incredible combination. Yeah. You look at those four bowlers. I mean, on their day they can blow any team apart, and 4 of them working in tandem. He really trusted these bowlers, and when he needed them the most, they actually delivered. I mean, Timil Mills, we know what an amazing bowler he is. He's just recently come into the team. He fires in those amazing in-swinging Yorkers. Hassan Ali, we don't need to talk much about him. He's the leading wicket taker. Wahab Riaz, he's the fastest bowler in a PSL. And then other than that, you've Chris Jordan. He's also just come back from the West Indies. So I mean, they're an out-and-out, quite a fearsome power banked
attack. Okay, we'll talk about this much. Let's have a look at the top performers of today's match. We have with us, Kamran Akmal. I think we're going to talk a lot about him in this show because he was fantastic today in the circle. He scored 74 quick runs of 43 balls with 10 sixes. 58 runs of 33 balls, 7 fours and 2 sixes. I think he was fantastic again. Karen Pollard with his quick 37 of 21 balls, 1 4 and 4 sixes. When it was most needed for his team again. Cameron Delport, he was there. He looked a little bit of rusty with the bat, but with the ball, he scored 48 runs though of 29 balls, 3 fours and 3 sixes. Yeah, he must have showed a lot of promise not with the ball this time, but with the bat, scoring 31 runs of 14 balls, 1 4 and 3 sixes. Chris Jordan, I mean, we got to give it to him that he is a real champion coming from England, being the man of this series in T20 series against West Indies. Bowled 4 overs, 26 runs for 3 wickets. Hassan Ali, another champion bowler, 4 overs, 29 runs and 3 crucial wickets for him also. Right, we're talking about from the start of the match. I mean, it looked to me that Islamabad United but they looked tired. I mean, after yesterday's game, it had a lot of energy taken away from the players, and they did look tired in the field today.
You could tell that Islamabad United were clearly jaded. see that yesterday they had consumed a lot of energy from yesterday, and they didn't have that, you know, energy reserves. They looked very tiresome. They looked very leggy today. They weren't playing with that sort of fire in the belly which we've known to see with Islamabad United. And I do think that today they made a number of crucial mistakes. First of all, winning the toss, bowling first. I mean, I think they got lucky yesterday not to actually win yesterday.
Actually, they should have lost yesterday, by the way, the cricket they played yesterday. And then again, they were lucky with the toss again, and winning the toss in such a big game and bowling first. I think that was not the right decision. But
they should have learned from they should have learned from what they did on Saturday. They should have learned from the fact that if they batted first, learn from that blueprint. You know, you're actually going to make 200 plus, put your big 200 plus, put the opposition team in put them, actually make them chase the score, put them in a difficult position, and, you know, bowl your heart out. I mean, I think Islamabad United really missed a trick over here.
Absolutely. And Peshawar Zalmi is such a complete team. I mean, they've got a perfect balance in bowling and batting, so you cannot defeat them like this. So why not to put them under pressure by batting first?
Yeah, you know, if Islamabad United had actually batted first, what you need to do is you need to put the runs on the board. This is that sort of a wicket. You know, it's a flat wicket, but then when you're chasing, if you have a score of above 200, you have to get about more than 10 per over. 1 or 2 bad overs and the game can completely go. This is not like 50 over cricket that, you know, you can actually find your way into the game. So I think they really missed a trick over here. And had they batted first, probably the result would have been the opposite.
Yeah, I'm sure they must have discussed this toss element there and not picking up Sumit Patel on such wicket. Another blunder, you would say?
I would say big time, big time. I know that the wicket wasn't turning. We believe we were just talking it off air that, you know, they missed the wicket didn't turn. But look, Sumit Patel, the reason they won last year is against the same opposition. He bowled extremely well. He bowls wicket to wicket. He gets some slight drift. He can actually target the pads. He can get you that quick breakthrough. He can get through Kamran Akmal. He could get through the likes of Imamul. He's a natural wicket taker. How could you drop him over here? So I think they really missed a trick over here by playing Walton instead of Sumit Patel.
Absolutely. And when you know that opponents are gonna go hard on you with Kamran on top, you need to have somebody who can bowl wicket to wicket, and that was Sumit Patel. Was
fast bowlers, he likes playing getting stuck into them. But when it comes to the spinners, he does tend to actually shuffle his pads, tend to get LBW or probably play a rash shot or so. And even Imamul Haq for that matter. So I think that had they played Sumit Patel, had they opened with him like they have done in the past, like they did in last season's final, like they have earlier in this tournament too, I think he could have gotten that natural breakthrough, which actually would have put a lot of pressure on the top order of the Peshawar Zalmi.
Absolutely. And the way they started Islamabad United bowlers, I mean, they were bowling at Kamran Akmal's strength, giving him too many balls to cut and pull. That they made it so easy for him.
Yeah, they were bowling a lot of juicy
the first 6 overs.
Yeah, half volleys, you know, bowling it in the slot too for him to hit. And now he has, since he played a good innings a few days ago, he's been playing exceptionally well. Now he hit a 74 today. He's going to take that momentum into the final. So I mean, it was a wrong ploy against a wrong batsman. Had they gotten their tactics right, had they bowled a spinner to him, I'm sure that they would have found his wicket early.
Absolutely, I agree on that. And what an amazing knock it was by Kamran Akmal. I mean, he started off in the circle with the shots and capitalized on it and scored big runs.
He scored big runs. Yeah. Why? Because
he's liking it in Karachi.
He loves it in Karachi. Yeah. When it gets going for him, he's unstoppable. We've seen it in the past in international cricket for Pakistan, how well he's done in Karachi. He loves this wicket. And even today, for that matter, when you were bowling outside, you know, off stump, and you know, when he was getting juicy half volleys, when he was getting the ball to cut, when it was drifting onto the pads, he just flicked it on. They were bowling to his strengths today, and that's where they completely got it wrong.
Absolutely. And I certainly believe that Kamran Akmal is one of the best T20 batsmen we have in Pakistan at the moment.
Yes, he's an exceptional T20 player. And the thing with him, he's an experienced campaigner. He knows on these flat decks how to get the runs and how to get it quickly. And when he's not scoring the boundaries, he at least rotates. So he's such an important component for the Peshawar Zalmi team.
Absolutely. And it is so unfortunate not to have somebody like Okay. We're gonna go to the live screens where captains.
I did say they are match winners on their day. You know, they could destroy any attack, and today we saw how well they played. And look, to post 200 in a do or die game, you know, it's always a good thing.
I mean, वहीं से मैच निकल गया, इसलिए कि पार्टनरशिप जो थी ओपनिंग की, उसी से प्रेशर क्रिएट हुआ बॉलिंग के ऊपर। ये मेरे ख्याल में जिस तरह कर सकते कि एक स्पिनर के साथ एक्स्ट्रा जा सकते थे आप या नहीं? देखें विकेट पे ऐसा कोई स्पिन था नहीं, लेकिन जितना भी हमारी टीम खेली, रियली प्राउड ऑफ माई टीम के जिस तरह वो इस टूर्नामेंट में अभी तक खेली, तो इंशाल्लाह नेक्स्ट ईयर हम लोग और स्ट्रांगली आएंगे। बिल्कुल ठीक है। You must be chuffed with the way the fast bowlers have bowled. Actually, it's a luxury for a captain.
When it was in the wheels, you know, it was a big call to leave out Dawson. You know, last time they played, he was the man of the match. But you know, in this team, we always put the team first. And I thought, as captain and coach, you know, having that how about I'm just shocked that for Pakistan so later. Yeah. But at the end of the day, you know, we that was put, especially when you finish at the top of the table, you know, we lose that game. So I am very pleased to be, you know, in 3 finals. You know, the owners and the coaches must be happy, but we have 1 more game to go. You know, I always tell the guys in the dressing room, everything happens for a reason. You know, when a team beats you 3 times in the season and you still get an opportunity to beat them when it really matters, you know, our guys will be pumped up. 2 top teams in the final, so hopefully it will be another cracker.
समी, क्या चीजें हैं जो कि आपके ख्याल से आप लोगों ने ठीक की और क्या चीजें हैं जो कि ठीक करना चाहेंगे आप? सबसे पहले तो ये है कि थोड़ा सा टारगेट हमें ज्यादा दे दिया, थोड़ा सा बॉलिंग में अगर 20-30 रन बचाते तो चांस था हमारा। फिर जनरली ओवरऑल HBL PSL में जितने भी मैचेस आप खेले उस हिसाब से बताएं कि क्या गेन्स हैं और क्या लॉसेस थे। गेन काफी कुछ है, जिस तरह हमारा फ्रेंचाइज का मोटिव भी है कि हर साल हमारे प्लेयर्स आते हैं, 5-6 प्लेयर हमारे पाकिस्तान खेले हैं, तो इस साल भी हमारे 2 टेंट थे, मूसा खेले हैं, रिजवान, तो जबरदस्त है हमारे। चले आपको अगले साल के लिए और मेहनत और बहुत बहुत मुबारक हो यहाँ तक पहुंचे। Again, final words, now what is in store for Zalmi? I mean, the final, what extra preparation would you want from your side?
Well, I think throughout the tournament we've been playing some good cricket. You know, the finals, like you said, brings a different type of pressure. You know, 2 teams battling to win a cup. You know, and both teams have been in the finals. So it's just raising the bar one more time to try and beat Quetta.
Absolutely brilliant stuff. Better luck next time, and brilliantly played. And
that a confident captain like Darren Semi, and we've been joined by Lena Moines, is the senior sports analyst on call with us. Hello, Lena, can you hear us?
Yes, Ali, I can. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm very much sitting with you. I said that the team who should win the toss and these games, these do or die games should always bat first, because you put a decent amount in runs, and I always back Quetta And there's a reason also. I always say I back Quetta because of Sarfaraz, because if he wins, his franchise wins, then of course, it's good for Pakistan. He'll carry that confidence into Pakistan. But also, I'm very happy that Zalmi won today because they're a very good team. I like the West Indies, the entourage, the West Indies entourage that they have. I absolutely love them, and of course, they've got some of my young favorite players like international player. And I said, whoever wins the toss should bat first, put a decent amount of runs, and I'm sure they'll win the match, and that is exactly what happens. So make me really happy. Great bowling attack, and they know he's an inexperienced captain. He should have known that it's a big match, and if the active Indians, brought it down to inexperience, that it was the captaincy inexperience. And also not that, I think the whole camp sits and makes the decision. But I'm really surprised how Dean Jones could have endorsed this decision at the toss.
Right. Thank you so much, Rita, for joining us on the call. And now we've been joined by when it comes to the anchorship, what do you make of the match? How do you feel about the match? Are you disappointed with the loss of Islamabad?
Of course, and I'm shocked as well. A person learned to everybody that in crunch games you've got to bat first. Then I fail to see what happened, considering that the wicket was first. I think sometimes your strength becomes your weakness when you're too overconfident that you've got one of the best batting lineups in the PSL and you've got 6 hitting ability. Number 10, I think what happened was bash Peshawar, chase down even 200 plus, but it could never be, considering bowlers like Wahab Riaz bowling 150, Timil Mills touching and varying his pace as well, Karan Pollard, and their fielding has been spot on. So I think last night we saw Karachi just gifting the game to Islamabad, and tonight we saw Islamabad returning the favour to Peshawar.
And by the body language of Islamabad United, they looked tired. I mean, the energy was drained in the USA match. Even when feeling late losses.
And you could actually see that fatigue. Even considering Asif Ali as well, I wanted more from him, but we know that he's in a very dire situation. All of Pakistan is praying for his daughter, and we at PTV World also pray that his daughter gets a speedy recovery, inshallah, and comes back to health. But then again, I think that thing being on his mind did take its toll tonight. We didn't see it in the last match, but the pressure was definitely there. But I think we, being cricketers, me and you, we can realize that a run rate that is touching 14 to 15 in the last couple of overs, it was really impossible for somebody to do that. And I did think Fahim Ashraf still had a chance when they had 4 overs or 3 overs to bat. But I'm surprised how Shadab could misread the situation and bat an entire over by missing these deliveries. His job should have been just take a single and put Fahim Ashraf on strike. But you actually pointed out brilliantly that fatigue was there. The intent wasn't there. But you've been 2 times you've been champions of PSL. You're the defending champions right now. So
the inning of Imamul Haq was better than Kamran Akmal. The way he was playing, building every ball to the boundary.
Well, I know. I'll just quote somebody and better take names. Amir Suhail just right now in the production about Imamul Haq, and I've been asking the same question, that it's injustice calling Inzamam's name with him again and again.
Absolutely, and he again to his
that if you've got a player in your family that's played for Pakistan, it runs in the genetics. It's in the genes, and that's what Amir said. Amir said with the culture, what it has done, it has discouraged players from sending their children to cricket or to any form of sports because of that tag. You better understand family member who played for Pakistan. It doesn't tag it, but I think he's silenced all his critics. He's doing his bad to the talking, and I can actually say this on record that right now he's the most technically sound player you have in the Pakistan team.
Absolutely. And going further, what do you make of the final on Sunday? Quetta or Islamabad United or Peshawar Zalmi, I beg your pardon?
Oh, it's difficult to call now. That's really difficult. But that being said, I think Quetta, for Quetta to win, the scenario is simple. They've got to break this opening partnership for Peshawar, because Peshawar's middle order is something of a concern. You know, we've been saying this on different platforms, on PTV World as well, that you got to make players play who still have a chance to play for Pakistan. I would definitely want to see Umar Amin in that middle order consistently. I think he technically deserves a place over Misbah ul Haq. Misbah's done his fair share of cricket. He's also part of the PCB committee as well. He should just stick to the side business. I know he's still got cricket left in him, and he's a fabulous player. But I definitely think that Umar Amin consistently should be there. Umaid Asif, guys like him should be playing. So I think Peshawar has got to get their game up. That being said, they're doing first, and they get Watson out early and cause a dent. They can really take this game.
Right. Thank you so much, Amit, for joining us on the call.
Qualifier. It didn't go your way. What do you think you can take from that leading into the final?
Obviously, you know, in cricket, you learn from your mistakes, and I guess we had a good session. We had a good chat session individually before, after that Quetta match, and we came back very strongly. But Quetta is a very good side. They have a very balanced side. The bowling and batting, they are doing good. But there are winners come the day after tomorrow. Inshallah, it will be our day.
And personally, with your performance, is there anything that you're going to be particularly focusing on reading that Quetta bowling attack?
They have a very good, decent attack. Their spinners are their strength, so we're gonna target them. And sometimes it's good, when you attack their best bowlers, then the whole team panics. So that's the mindset we have today as well. The emerging Musa was bowling so well, and we try to put pressure on them. So the whole team panics, and we get through those good overs as well. But Quetta is a very good side, the mature side, and that's the strategy I have. When the team is depending on me and Kamran Akmal as well, because we both are in good form. So this is the time we have to prove, and we have to implement our steps tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, inshallah. I'm very hopeful.
Well, they certainly have been depending on you, and rightly so. Your 4th half century in the HBL PSL. This is your very first PSL. That's an incredible effort. You must be very proud.
I am actually, and my whole family is really supportive, and really want to thanks to Almighty Allah and my parents, and I have really mentioned everywhere that my South African tour and the experience of the international cricket really helps me a lot. There is a very international exposure and the very international pressure. So when you play PSL, it's a home crowd, it's a domestic kind of a tournament. So I'm always hopeful, and I'm always, I know my abilities, and it's just to go out there and to enjoy a game. And really want to thanks to the performances always matters, and the management as well. The management has been throughout very supportive, and really, it really helps. And that's why it's really quite good to the management.
Well, congratulations on another stellar performance. Thank you for your time. That was a mum.
Confident young man. It's
amazing how he's transformed over the past few months. A few months ago, we saw a shaky 22-year-old, somebody who was still finding his feet. He was really troubled by the press, fans, critics really getting under his skin. But I think that South African tour, Ali, has been the changing of the guard, has been his changing point for him. He's been brilliant ever since he was the man of the series, in that one-day series. He's only gone from strength to strength, and the best thing about him now is that he's staying at the wicket. He's playing very good cricket, like I'm mentioning, and important, he's not giving his wicket away. 450s in your first PSL tournament, I mean, that's a magnificent performance.
Considering that he was not even picked in the first go, he was a replacement, he came as a replacement, and then being the key member of Peshawar Zalmi, it's huge for him.
It's huge for him. It's an incredible achievement. This is one person who is tagged as only a test player or a slow 50 over player, but since he has so much talent, like Ahmed Nawaz was mentioning, he has it in his genes. He's his most settling in a star just to big scores of 50 plus. That is the main reason. Those partnerships between him and Kamran Akmal are the main reason that they're actually in their third straight PSL final.
Absolutely. And just before we went to the calls, we were talking about Kamran Akmal. Do you believe he still has it in him to make it to Pakistan team, or do you think there is a place for him in Pakistan international team?
Well, that's a very tough one, to be honest. Because I think he's been a master. Now that is a time you allow youngsters to come in, blood youngsters to come, the likes of Imam over there, Fakhr is over there. There are some other batsmen who can actually come up top and bat too. But Kamran Akmal has been a great servant for Pakistan cricket team. He's done very well in the past for 50 over cricket, but I think that it's best, if he wants to consistently play at the highest level at PSL, he should stick to the league cricket and to PSL, and probably not think too much about the Pakistan cricket team.
Right, that's your argument on that. Once Peshawar Zalmi got to 10 overs and 100, and they lost a couple of wickets there. And what do you make of Pollard's inning? I mean, how easy he is on the crease, and he just stays there without any tension. He just hits the ball through the line for 6. I mean, that's not easy thing to do.
Yeah, the best thing about Pollard is that he's got this amazing ability to stay at the wicket. He anchors onto the wicket, and he actually has so much power that he can easily hit you for wickets. He doesn't need to come down the wicket. He's got so much he's got an amazing backlift, and the fact he's got so much power in those arms that he can easily loft you.
Yes, and the balance he has. I mean, he just keeps still and hit the ball through the line. That is not an easy thing.
That is not an easy thing, and only people who have a lot of strength in their arms and strength in their core can actually do it. You've seen the likes of Shahid Afridi doing that. Pollard is another example. Sami can actually do that. Only the fittest and the strongest cricketers can do that. And Pollard has been gifted with that sort of anatomy. So I think he's making the most of it. And those 30 runs were very crucial ones, were a reason why they got such a brilliant total today.
Absolutely, and that's where the Karachi teams lacked yesterday. I mean, they were off to a brilliant start also yesterday, but they could not capitalize in those middle orders. So that is why I ask you that this Pollard inning was very crucial.
It was very crucial because we just saw that over here, that when you asked Ahmed Nawaz that what is the one weak spot for Peshawar Zalmi, it's probably the middle order, because that their partnership, the opening partnership has done well over and over again, but the middle order has been tested, and even when they have been tested, they haven't really performed too much. I mean, you saw against Lahore Qalandars, they were reduced to 20 for 5, and that could happen again, but I think that Pollard has that excellent, he's that sort of player who creates an amazing foil, because when he's on the wicket and gets those sort of balance to that middle order.
Yeah, and he puts the bowling side on back foot at once. He can hit one big hit, and suddenly the bowling side is on the back foot.
Yeah, he can completely take the confidence out of the opposition team, out of the bowling unit too. I mean, whichever bowler is actually bowling to me can actually is very nervous. He has a lot of nerves bowling to him, because one bad ball or one ball in the slot and Pollard can easily hit you out of the park, hit you for 90 meters, for a 6-2. So I think that when you're bowling to Pollard, you have to be on your A game, otherwise he will completely rip you apart.
Absolutely. And once they went past 200 runs and scored those 215 runs.
There's a good 70 to 80% chance that the game is in the pocket for you. Why? Because chasing at 10 runs per over is so difficult. When you have that burden of about 10 runs per over, which you have to start from the onset, it becomes very long. Then to that run creep up, and you have to go at about 11, 12, 13, it builds up to. It was always going to be a mammoth chase for Islamabad United, and he just could not keep up with the pressure because kept using the
amazing partnership between Kamran Akmal and Imamul Haq. I mean, that really set the tone for Peshawar Zalmi. They look like that. They're in the business. They're in the mood to win. They're from the ball one.
Yeah, I mean, the best thing about them is the way they're complementing themselves, Ali. I mean, it's Kamran Akmal is going after every single ball. He's going after the good balls and the bad balls, whereas Imamul Haq is just targeting the bad balls and rotating the strike, giving the strike to Kamran Akmal. I mean, they create a good foil for each other because they're different players too. So I think that left-right combination, Imam staying at the wicket.
Sohaib Maksud was another disappointment that they included. I mean, he just lost his way when till the time he's dropped from the Pakistan team.
Well, he just hasn't been the same player. Ever since the 2015 World Cup, he hasn't been the same player. I mean, he has so much talent. You know, we've seen, and when he initially came in the team way back in 2013, that he had talent. He could pick up and the ante, but he really hasn't. He hasn't stepped up to the mantle. If I were part of the Peshawar Zalmi team selection, I would make the bold move of actually dropping him and bringing Misbah-ul Haq in his place. Reason being, because Misbah-ul Haq is the man of crisis. Whenever you're in a difficult situation, he can actually rescue you. So probably stick with everybody else, stick with Umar Amin, but I would bring Misbah-ul Haq just for that extra experience which they would need for the final.
And once you have so many hard-hitting batsmen around him, then you need somebody like him who can stable things in the middle.
Yeah, and that mature head on your shoulders. You know, when you're in a sticky situation, when you've actually had a collapse or something, need some Misbah to actually graft those runs, get you those quick runs too. I mean, he's an all and out batsman. You know, he's a man for all situations too. So I would probably, since Sohaib Maksud is not playing well, I would probably pick your best team for the final and include Misbah-ul Haq in that final.
Right, and once they were onto the chase of 215 runs. I mean, talking about Luke Ronchi, I mean, it was not that type of PSL he wanted. I mean, he's better than that. He has set better standards for himself, but he just could not capitalize again.
Look, the man of the series for 2018, it was always going to be difficult for him to actually continue with that same trend, but it just wasn't the same. He didn't have the same experience. He had a brilliant last year. He had some good innings this time, but this time he couldn't get going. He couldn't get off to those amazing starts which he got for Islamabad United, helping them to their second title last year. So he'd be slightly disappointed this year, but I do believe that he's got so much talent in himself. He's such an incredible player that once he comes next year, you'll see him fresh and you'll see him get plenty of runs.
Yeah, hopefully for Islamabad United. And what about the bowling? I mean, first 6 overs are bowled by Hassan Ali, Tal Mills, and which are follow
their bowling unit. Reason being is because they bowl with variety. They bowl with they bowl with that extra tenacity too. So it's very difficult to get them away. And you can expect any type of ball. The bouncers, the yorkers, the cutters. It's very difficult to get them away.
As Darren Savvy mentioned in his interview, that it was a very difficult tactical move to drop Dawson and include Jordan in it, and it paid off.
It did pay off, and you could see that Darren Sammy stressed about the best 11. He felt in his heart that Chris Jordan would add extra value to the team more than Liam Dawson. Liam Dawson is a brilliant player. I mean, he's a very good left-handed spinner, and at the same time can get you quick runs. But Chris Jordan was an important part of that 2017 PSL winning team. He adds so much firepower. He just got the man of the series in the England West Indies series. So he was coming off a purple patch too. So they really needed to think about it. And I think they made the right decision, considering there was no turn in the pitch. Chris Jordan was the right decision, and you could see that with the fact that he picked 3 wickets today.
Absolutely. 3 wickets started bowling, and they were depending heavily on Alex Hales, and once he departed, it was all done for them.
I think it was curtains. When you Luke Ronchi went when Alex Hales was probably going to be the only savior. When you're chasing 215, you need a dynamic player, dynamic player like Alex Hales to kick in. But when he went for a duck, it was all said and it was all done and dusted for them, because they didn't have any proper pitch hitters. Yes, Asif Ali is a quality player, but you need an international superstar like the likes of the Alex Hales to get you that extra firepower, to get you that extra runs. He played a very crafty 40 runs yesterday. If he could have kicked on and hit them, kicked on and made it probably a 50 today, then it would have been a very close fight till the end.
Absolutely. And Fahim Ashraf did proved his batting abilities today. I mean, we all know that, we know all his abilities with the ball, but today he showed that he can bat.
The best thing about Fahim Ashraf is today he showed his true all-round abilities. He wasn't good with the ball. He wasn't hitting the right areas. He wasn't getting those wickets today, but he showed that what a class act he is with the bat. When he doesn't perform with the ball, he is very good with the bat. He can get you some handy runs. That's why it's so important actually for the future, for going to the World Cup, that they actually select a player with the skill set of Fahim Ashraf, because he's so important. If he doesn't perform from the bowling front, he'll do well with the bat. And today you could see with those quick runs, 30 quick runs he made, that he is very important with the bat.
Absolutely, and selectors have been sticking to him because of his batting abilities, which we couldn't see till today, but selectors definitely had trust on his batting also, and he proved it.
Yeah, they have a lot of faith in him, and that is because of his skill set, whether it's with the ball or with the bat. And today we could see that he cleared the boundaries very easily. He was hitting some he cleared the boundaries very easily, hitting some sixes. I mean, the boundaries too, he can find the gaps very easy. So, I mean, when he gets going and when you're in a difficult situation, he can get you those quick runs and actually get you close to that total.
Absolutely. So if I ask you, where did Islamabad United go wrong? Where did they lose the match actually?
I think they lost it from the toss. Ali, I think you would agree with me that they missed a trick over. They should have batted first. When they actually played against Lahore Qalandars, they scored about 239, 240. This is the sort of wicket where you can easily put up a very big total. And when you put a very big total, half the battle is won over there. It's very difficult for your opponents to come in to chase that big total. So first of all, I think they missed a trick over there. And second, why didn't they play Samit Patel? Samit Patel is such an important component for them. If not Samit Patel plays Zafar God, you needed that extra spin over and that guile to break that opening partnership. So I think they made a couple of made mistakes, and that is actually what cost them their title.
And what do you make of the crowd? I mean, they were right behind Peshawar Zalmi, as if Karachi is playing instead of Peshawar Zalmi.
Well, the Karachi crowd have always had a soft spot for Peshawar Zalmi. Even in the final last year, they wanted 90% of them wanted Peshawar Zalmi to win. I had so many friends of mine, so many associates who were actually supporting Peshawar Zalmi, which actually angered me being an Islamabad United fan. But they were always going to be back behind Peshawar Zalmi, and I think going into that final, because they've got a very nice score and they've got Darid Sami over there, I think the crowd once again in the final is going to support Peshawar Zalmi.
Right, and going further, what do you make of the team? Are they going to go with the same, or they should bring in Liam Dawson for the match against Quetta?
Oh, it's going to be an interesting one. It's going to be an interesting unit.
It's not going to be easy.
It's not going to be
out Jordan or Tyrone Mills.
Look, Ali, it's going to be a very difficult decision, but I always believe in one saying: why fix something when it's not broke? If these 5 bowlers actually got you 9 wickets today, why not stick to that winning combination? They'll have to assess the wicket. Does it have any turn or not? Then they can probably bring Liam Dawson. But if it's the same wicket, the same flat wicket, then stick to the same 5 batsmen, because those 5 bowlers, because those 4 lethal bowlers, Hassan Ali, Wahab Riaz, Timil Mills, I mean, they are and Chris Jordan, they are unstoppable over there. They're going to be, they actually work very well in tandem together. So if I was Darren Sammy, and if the wicket would suited me, I'd stick to the same combination.
And what about Quetta Gladiators? I mean, coming to the game after a rest of few days, would that had made them a little lazy to coming to the ground? Or I mean, if comparing to Peshawar Zalmi, they're into the game, they're playing, they're fit, they're there. Would that make the difference?
I think that actually will work in Quetta Gladiators' favor. Why? Because they've had about 4 days rest. They would have watched these games very closely. They would have worked on with their weak points. They would have tried to correct it, learned from their mistakes, and see which areas they can exploit Peshawar Zalmi. They would have looked at both Peshawar Zalmi's match very closely today and seen what are the areas they can beat them. They know that they've beaten them already in the first qualifier. They can beat them again. And I feel that because this time Quetta Gladiators, unlike 2017, they have their full strength team. They start as favourites. They start as favourites because they have a natural leader in them. They've got an excellent unit. They've got a good balance. And at the end of the day, they will be hungry. This is the third time they're making the final, and hopefully third time lucky for them.
Absolutely, and now that with the likes of Shane Watson and Umar Akmal coming in the form, Ahmed Shahzad is in the right form, they will fancy their chances to win this. They will fancy their chances. I mean, let's not forget Shane Watson coming here for the first time. He was amazing in that qualifier, getting 70 odd runs. He's the top run scorer in this tournament too. He's been in brilliant form, in real purple patch right now. Him along with the likes of Russo over there, with the likes of Essen, Anis over there. I mean, they've got so much, and they've got so much talent over there. Umar Akmal over there, Sarfraz over there, Riley Russo over there. I really fancy their chances, and if the right Quetta Gladiators turn up, I think they'll be too much for, they'll probably overpower Peshawar Zalmi. Absolutely, and I like the comment that Leena Moin made, that it would be so good if Sarfraz wins. It would be so good for Pakistan going to the World Cup for his confidence and for the confidence of the entire team. Ali, this is the main reason why since day one, and you probably would be a witness to this, that I've been supporting Quetta Gladiators from day one. I want Quetta Gladiators to win so badly because of Sarfraz Ahmed. Sarfraz along with that team with him, Umar Akmal is over there too. I mean, because if Sarfraz actually wins this tournament, it will give him a lot of confidence leading that Pakistan team into the World Cup. He's a natural leader, and look at these two finalists. They both have the two natural leaders over there, Darren Sami and Sarfraz Ahmed. If he can, Quetta Gladiators can win, it'll be the third time lucky for them, but more importantly, it will give that extra confidence to Sarfraz Ahmed going into the more important, crucial World Cup in the summer. Absolutely, and making up now that we've got those finalists, is it how we thought initially the tables would look like? Well, it's the two best teams are in the final. I mean, 1 and 2, both of them who finished on 14 points each. I think the right final is there. It's going to be a very competitive final. It's very difficult to call. It's a repeat of the 2017 final, and whichever team turns up on the day will probably win it. But if you were to ask me, I would say that Quetta Gladiators are the favourites. But if Peshawar Zalmi play with that same firepower like they did like today, then they could upset the apple cart. Right. I always believe that it's the bowlers that wins you matches, and T20 especially. And Peshawar Zalmi has this lethal bowling attack. It won't be easy for Quetta Gladiators batsmen to go after them straight away. It won't be easy for them. But you see, if the likes of Shane Watson, he's a world-class player. I mean, he's a two-time world champion over there. If he can get going, if the likes of Essen Anisa can get going, if the likes of Riley Russo, he's another champion over there. Umar Akmal is there, Sarfraz is over there. I have no doubt in my mind that if these players can, Devon Smith, I believe, is also plays for for Quetta Gladiators. If these guys have enough quality in their ranks that they can actually tame these bowlers too. I mean, look, Peshawar Zalmi, don't get me wrong, they're an amazing bowling unit, but is anybody who can stand head to head with them is the Quetta Gladiators batsman. Right. One last question. Your bet would be on one team, Quetta or Peshawar Zalmi? Without a shadow of a doubt, Quetta Gladiators, and I really do hope they do win. Yes, I agree on that. I would go for Quetta Gladiators also. That's it, ladies and gentlemen, for today. We'll see you tomorrow, same time. Take care till then.
Magla Hills, the heaven of Islamabad. the abode of God, a place where you can explore your soul and meet power of natural elegance of mountains.